Mr. Hamilton, who do you endorse, the flip on or the flip off? Which is a question I would ask him, but I don't think he's around anymore. So
it's been a few years, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I would say a few years, but
at least like 200.
Yeah,
like
give or take.
218, but
Some quick math there.
Here or there.
well, I'm trying to remember if he died in
250.
I thought he died in 1804, but he might have died in 1805.
We're talking
Give
like
or take a year. 217 to 218 years, or I guess 19 if you want to be just careful with the month and the date.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
Well,
so what are we doing?
I'm Tim, and this is Flipperflix,
Hey,
the professionally unprofessional podcast
of the future
of
worldwide.
movies.
Of the future worldwide.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I'm Adam, and I'm on social media this week. Guess what? We still have it, kind of. It exists. We haven't been as active as we want to be, but hey, we got stuff going on.
I would argue that we've been as active as we want to be.
That's true. That's true. We show up to record. We do the heavy lifting
Exactly.
of the podcast. We don't do the easy part.
Yeah, we need an
Wow.
unpaid intern to run our social media. If you know anybody, hit up our Gmail, which is what, Adam?
Flipperflix@gmail.com. Or you could just DM us on Instagram at Flipperflix or Twitters. We still haven't yet to find a Zoomer to let us know if you need to say the at the beginning of
Oh, yeah. I
Flipperflix.
was like, why did we need one?
You were on that. I had tasked that to you, Sam.
I do know a few.
Yeah, you know more than I do. That being said, you can also recommend us movies on our website.
I know the same amount that you do.
Yeah, but you're connected to them more.
Okay. It's literally my family, but okay.
I know. Yeah. Whose family?
True. Anyway.
So, no, I'm just kidding. They're my family too.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so here we are, flipperflix.com, where you can recommend us movies. We are down to, we actually have some, but I would like more. So give me more.
We like options.
More recommendations. You can also rate us, review us, whatever you want to do on websites like Apple Podcasts. Podchaser has it. I don't even think somebody's done a rating there yet, so that'd be real cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, Spotify has it apparently. It's
Mhm.
buried. It's buried in there. Bird. I don't know if Anchor can, which is our hosting platform. And you can, we release our episodes on 1 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays, where you can find podcasting platforms. They're there somewhere. Words are hard tonight, but they're just coming out of order.
I always feel like whoever ends up doing social media.
What?
This is like, it's like nonsense. Like whether or not it comes out and makes sense is a toss up.
Just like in general for us?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's in every episode though. We make sure to tell everybody about us.
Mm-hmm. Well, it also helps the people that stick around for a little bit. They know they can skip like a minute in at least if they really wanted to.
You hear the intro, you skip to the synopsis.
Yeah, exactly.
If only you could like do little bookmarks. That'd be pretty cool.
I actually think you can.
Okay, so you can't because I don't want to.
I think they're called show notes and people do them. We just
That's
don't do that much heavy
separate.
lifting.
Oh my.
Yeah.
So what have I missed? I don't think I missed anything.
No, you're good.
Tim's trying to start a TikTok. All right, so Sam, continue.
What?
He's been nominated.
This is like the running joke of season 3.
I just died. Oh no. I can't do it. I'm ill.
Another thing for our unpaid intern Zoomer to do for us, a TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok.
With none of us in it. Like they can just figure it
I
out
will not be
themselves.
involved.
Yeah, but
You do it with our name. Thank you. Okay, bye.
it's the classic group project scenario.
We do a lot of heavy lifting here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We show up.
We record, we
Consistently.
edit, we watch movies.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I'm Sam.
You're Sam.
Wait, I thought I was
You
Sam
are.
tonight.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Just
Hold
in
on.
case there was some
Yeah.
confusion.
Hey, I'm Sam. Hey, guys.
I hope
This is my voice.
I hope it's not that high, but it probably
No, it's
is.
not. It's in that range I can't hit.
Yeah.
There's a range between my normal voice and my falsetto.
Okay.
Singing things.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Which relates to this episode.
Exactly.
So this week I missed the boat, which is a category that we use for when you did not catch the bandwagon, the boat with everybody. And it's a really popular thing, or at least a popular thing.
It's really popular.
And you just,
In certain
didn't
communities.
partake at the correct time. And so now it's like, well, I guess I'll do it now. And so I chose Hamilton because I was pretty sure we all missed that cruise ship.
Yeah.
It was a big ship, too.
I know, it was massive, and we were all like not getting on. But today we are. And so I will give you the synopsis. Hamilton is a 2020 American historical fiction musical drama film. That's a lot of adjectives or nouns. Musical drama film. Nouns.
I mean, it's describing a noun.
Yeah, but it's like a lot to say at once.
Okay.
Consisting of a live stage recording of the 2015 Broadway musical of the same name, which was inspired by the 2004 biography Alexander Hamilton by Ron Chernow. I don't know. This whole synopsis just makes me giggle because it's like, they just put words together.
Just like me.
Which I know is like the definition of a synopsis, but that just sounded so clinical
and a
and
sentence.
precise. Yeah. So I chose this. Well, first off, I thought it was like, I knew it came to Disney Plus like around it was 2020, like around the pandemic, and people were super jazzed about it. And then I actually thought that it was like kind of like Les Mis, where it was like they decided to do the musical, but it was like a film version of it, and they put it, but it's not. It's just a taping of the Broadway show.
Wait, real quick. There's other musicals that are like that, and you didn't name them. Cats.
Yeah.
Release the Butthole Edition.
But there was a Cats version when we were little that was literally just a taping
version.
like this.
I've seen it like 20 times.
Yeah, I saw that in music class a lot. And so anyway, I was like kind of taken aback when we first started it because my expectations were that it was going to be like somewhat filmy and not just like a legit recording of the performance. But I was on the fence to start with because I knew it was long. And I knew there was a reason I didn't see it to begin with, which was, I don't know, like historical fiction is not really my jam. Like I really enjoy epics and mythology and that sort of spin of it. But if we're talking about like American historical fiction, like fuck no, that's not my jam at all. So there was a reason I didn't see it.
So when you say that, are you saying that you won't watch the Napoleon film that comes out in the future? I think I'm blanking. Ridley Scott. I think it's Ridley Scott doing it.
See, I would have said no, like but you said Ridley Scott, so I was like maybe. But just
Isn't
like
that different too, though, than this? Like,
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
not.
it's
that's
not
an
like a
actual
musical.
film, not
No,
like
no,
a
no,
musical that was filmed.
But she in general doesn't like historical fictions.
yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, which actually kind of makes sense because you're not a huge war movie person.
Well, that's weird though. But yeah, don't you like Dunkirk and
She's not seen
what
Dunkirk.
was the?
I missed
What?
that boat too.
Yeah.
I almost picked that.
Oh,
We
man,
own it.
That one's so good.
I bought it for like $5.
That's right. We've talked about this
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
But what about what's the one where it's the continuous shot? I can't remember. It's a date.
1917.
1917. That's right.
I just recently started getting into war
Yeah.
films
I could see. Yeah, I mean, I can see where.
or
Yeah.
historical fictions. But go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, Tim, that's
Okay.
perfect.
Oh, okay.
Roll right into it.
Yeah. So, I've never heard of this.
That shocks me, but not at all at the same time.
Yeah.
Like,
Wait, you didn't even hear of the boat?
Nope.
he didn't know the boat existed.
That's wild.
It's
Okay,
funny because I
continue.
do actually like musicals. I like going to musicals in person.
Okay.
Yes.
And like I've seen others, in film version, like a fan of the opera, like everyone else has.
Not seen that one in person, but yeah. Continue.
No, I mean like
Okay.
everyone's
Film.
heard of it. That
Oh,
one,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
one.
yeah,
You
yeah.
think of like a musical, you think of like Fan of the Opera, Wicked, stuff like that,
Mhm.
Nutcracker. I've seen a few. I haven't seen a lot, but I always really enjoy the experience of it. And so I opened this up, or I knew this was a musical at least, like before looking at it or anything. I don't know if it's just from our talks or why I knew it was, but I did not want anything to do with this fucking movie. I was very salty about this pick.
I knew you would be. I don't know why. I think that it's the length and the style.
I didn't even see the length until right before I started. I was like, you gotta be shitting me.
Yeah, that number's wrong, right?
Yeah, I was like, man, this is just. I'm not excited about this, and then I realized it was kind of based on history, historical fiction, whatever. And I was like, interesting, because I read the synopsis, and it's like it's a filming of Hamilton, and from it's like 2016 is when the film is, I guess. I'm sure it's still one that goes around, because usually musicals don't just die off.
Exactly.
Unless they need to.
I mean, that was a little more. Like once I saw that, I was like, okay, maybe I can get through this and not have issues, because it's an actual like theater performance, not just a straight musical. So I went from salty to like, all right, I can sit through this, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Cautiously on the fence, like I was.
Right. Yeah, I was like, I there's a reason I've never sought out this
exactly.
film,
so.
Yeah.
I don't understand how this is such a big boat to miss, but we'll get after it. I
think it's because it's Broadway.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, anything that comes out of Broadway is usually massive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the amount of Tonys it won, and yada yada yada. So
musical speak.
But as for me, I was interested in it. I feel like Sam's had it on deck for quite a while, just because she wanted to talk about it. She didn't want to just watch the 2 hours and 40 some minutes of the musical. She wanted to make sure it came onto the podcast. So I've been told by multiple people that it's great and it's fantastic, and I know people who've seen it live in person, and then he told me that, hey, it's really good on Disney Plus as well. You should watch it. But he's also a big Lin-Manuel Miranda fan, so that makes logical sense. So yeah, I was excited. I like musicals, as we discussed 2 episodes ago in Greece.
Yeah, and the subject matter did not scare you away.
No, but I had heard. That's only because I've heard things about Hamilton from my random Reddit readings.
The internet.
Yeah, the random internets that I'm on. Yeah, because I think it was like finding out that not all the founding fathers were like ancient, and like Hamilton himself was like 19 in 76. Was like, wait, what? So I was kind of interested, like intrigued.
Sure.
So
nice.
Spoilers if you've not watched the 2 hour and 40 minute version on Disney Plus or seen it in person.
Yeah.
So yeah, where do we want to start? Do we want to start historically? How much did you know about Hamilton?
Nothing.
Nothing? I knew he was on the $10 bill.
I didn't even know that.
He's on the $10 bill because why?
I don't know.
He started the Federal Reserve.
Oh.
The whole bank scene.
Yeah, the whole bank stuff.
Yeah.
All
that was a part of the musical.
That was part of the musical. It was very lengthy. Some people got tired during it.
Very tired.
2 people, I think, got sleepy in this one. Not just
just a little bit.
That wasn't at you, Tim. we were watching it last night, and we had 30 minutes left. I'm like, can we just make it through this? Come on, we can do it.
Can we just wrap? I just kept saying, spoiler alert for my thoughts. I just kept saying, can we wrap this up, please? So yeah, I don't know if it would have been better in person, but I will say, like, here is something that's well, I didn't let Tim answer. How much did you know about Hamilton, Tim? Anything?
Nothing really. I mean, I didn't connect the dots with like it being a musical and then being about him, like Alexander Hamilton.
Literally about it.
Yeah. So I like going into it, I was surprised by the fact that it was even historically anything, And then I was like, oh, okay, so this could be interesting. And I don't know. I didn't know enough about Hamilton, though. I mean, I don't really know enough or as much as I should about our history, I guess. But yep,
I absorb random facts. That's just kind of my thing.
my brain's a sponge. I don't usually have a choice.
But go ahead, Sam.
But I was going to say, I found it interesting as I was watching this film that apparently I had heard 2 of the songs. And so I was like convinced that they were from something else. Like,
Well, yeah, one of them's my fault.
so one of them is Raise a Glass.
That one was
To
not my
Freedom.
fault. That one wasn't my
And
fault.
We the Kings does a cover of it. And I was like, oh, that's really weird that he would choose to put like a We the Kings song in this musical.
Yeah.
It took me a while to be like, no, it's probably from this. And they
He
just
probably
covered
wrote
it.
that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, why would, yeah. Anyway, and then the other one is one that King George sings a lot, which is You'll Be Back. And I was like, it sounds like it's from a Disney movie. So I was convinced like this was in some Disney movie like The Hunchback of Notre Dame and they just slapped it in here. And that's why it's on Disney Plus too.
I was so certain it was from a Goofy movie.
It sounds like it.
Like Max is leaving and you'll be back, Max.
Yeah, that could have worked.
Well, but
Yeah.
part of the reason Sam and I thought that was because I especially Sam is forced to listen, but she does enjoy it. I listen to like a Disney cover, like the guy does a lot of Disney cover like songs. His name is Jonathan Young. He does like metal versions a lot.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I'm like, all right, I'm in. So yeah.
This one is not a metal version, but do you
It's
want to
not.
build a snowman? He has a metal version of.
Oh,
which is
that
really
was you
solid.
gotta watch the
That
music
sounds kinda
video.
great.
You gotta watch the music video though for that one.
Yeah, but anyway, so that was a fun little thing that I was dumb about. I was like, oh, there's no way these are from this musical. Why
Well,
would that be?
And then I listen to Watsky a bunch, and sometimes I'll turn on his This Is Watsky playlist,
Mhm.
and there's a whole extra album out there of covers and songs that don't exist in the play.
But like they were at one point, or they just
Wait.
like wrote them as like extras, or
I don't really know.
is it called like what's it called?
It's an open letter. And it starts like, Dear Thomas Jefferson. And then he just like starts rapping about like, it's like a diss
Getting
tape.
after it.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if since it's from like or it's inspired by the novel or whatever, like I wonder if they had written scenes or music, but they were like it would make it too long, and they just were still like, well, we'll release it as like an extended sort of version or something like that.
Well, there was a prominent character that in our history that doesn't exist in the play, which is Benjamin Franklin. He
Right.
So he tried to bring him in, and he actually wrote a song. He has the whole song written, and then he started playing it, and he's like, this sounds like the song that would be played by the Decemberists.
I don't know who that is.
It's
Sure.
it's like an alt rock band. Anyways,
Uh-huh.
you would probably know one or two of their songs if you played it.
Probably one of those.
Yeah, so he wrote this Benjamin Franklin song, and he's like, hey, Decemberists, I feel like this is kind of like up your alley. And they're like, it is.
Oh, I wanted them to say no. That would have been
And
hilarious.
they recorded it and everything. You can go listen to it, and like they credit him with the songwriting. But like this mixtape version that
Mhm.
Watsky's on is like actually produced and created, like written by Lin-Manuel Miranda. So he wrote all these songs, and he wrote more. There are 46 song numbers in this play.
in
Damn.
the musical itself.
Mm-hmm.
And
he
then
has
the
I don't know how
mixtape
more.
has more.
how do people remember that? Like, how do you
Some of
remember
it-
your lines?
Some of it is with musicals. Some of it's like when you're up there, it's some of the actual instrumentals can kind of lead you to the word.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I could see that.
Oh.
But-
Now acting, I got nothing. I don't understand how these fuckers remember all their
I don't.
lines.
Yeah, I don't understand how you remember your lines ever for anything. Like, I'd be like, line, like in the middle of the song, line.
I feel like, yeah, it was like improv. It's like, it sounds like, oh yeah, I think improv would be easier. But at the same time, no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I was going to say like muscle memory for like the dance numbers, but like especially with this musical, like there's a lot of like really fast rap. And so
There
like
is.
to remember all of that plus your lines is just like, well,
Dude.
Yeah.
there's less lines. Like, it's mostly just remembering the songs in musicals is the
Sure.
only,
Yeah.
like, nice thing, but still, Jesus, that's so much.
Angelica's like the actress who plays Angelica
Mm-hmm.
is phenomenal at like her rap scenes.
Yeah.
Like I could understand, like there's no mumbling.
Mhm.
I understood everything she was saying, and she was just going like real fast, real furious. Family.
Whoa.
Yeah, well, and she had a few songs where she really belted it out, too.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, dang, girl, get after it.
No, we recognized her from other stuff, so I was like, wait, what?
Mhm.
Something that always gets me with singing too is like watching just their faces.
Yeah.
Like watching people's faces, because in musicals it's not just singing, right?
gotta
Like,
smile
and then it's
and
not
act.
it's not the same as like a stage performance of like an artist just playing
Like
their
a
songs
concert,
or whatever.
yeah.
Usually they're just like getting after it. Like if you watch their faces, they're very deliberate with you know, small visual cues and stuff, or like what you're supposed to be getting from it. It's always interesting to me because there's like the guy that plays the king, for instance. He
Dude, the
does a really
snot
good job
jockey?
of just he does a really good job of like his face is very static like the whole time,
Those
or
dead
like he
eyes.
deliberately leaves it like dead eyed, or like I can't remember the dude's name, but there's a guy, he's singing on the chair at one point, and they're really like I was just like staring at his mouth because like he kept like moving it and like smiling while singing. Like,
Was it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No, you're good. I just you know, it's just very interesting for like this kind of stuff. It's a whole different skill set than just singing the song and like dancing around while singing the song.
I know they're
But
doing
it's
like
very
3 or 4
impressive.
things at a time, and we're all sitting down talking. We're doing one thing.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'm half naked. Like, you know, I'm not even on camera, so
Not yet. You're not.
Ugh.
Oh, man. I'm glad you brought up the king, though, because he was my favorite character.
He was my favorite.
He was so
character.
He's so
good.
good.
He was so good.
Like he was only in a few scenes, but
He knew.
Sure, but
Actually-
he was great.
I'm gonna take it back. Washington was my favorite.
Really?
I really liked him.
He was kind of like somber and like solid and like
Yeah.
just kind of
Stoic.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
I liked Jefferson a lot too.
I liked Jefferson
Yeah.
too. He was
Jefferson
goofy.
was good. Yeah, he was very goofy.
I thought Madison's character was pretty funny, just in like the fact that you see him play Hercules. What is his last name? The guy's last name was his name was Hercules Mulligan. That ends up becoming Madison later.
Oh.
Interesting.
But they're completely, totally different characters. Like the guy who plays Jefferson does Lafayette earlier, so he's playing a Frenchman,
Mm-hmm.
and then he plays the guy that went to France.
I know. Yeah,
Mhm.
I thought they did a good job. I mean, I'm sure they do that with all musicals of like
2 hours and
if
40 minute
somebody
lengths.
dies
Yeah.
or something, like they get switched out into another character, but like it's not confusing for you.
I know. I
Right.
was the the only slightly confusing part is when the full grown guy is like a 9-year-old, and then he
Right.
plays the 19-year-old. But like I understand why they did that.
Yeah.
That would have been more confusing to bring a child on.
Yeah. And also just like the whole like well, I guess Philip didn't have like a whole lot. He had a decent chunk, but like I was just thinking of like a 9-year-old having to like remember all of that. Would be so hard, I feel like.
In the
That'd
spinning
be very
floors,
difficult.
Yeah.
dude, the set itself was freaking sweet. Like they were spinning. Would you guys get dizzy?
Yes.
I absolutely would. I get dizzy very easily,
Same.
and I
They-
don't like it.
You get dizzy from like riding a ride. These people are singing and dancing on a spinning thing. Like think about like they're doing like step counts, and they can't back up too far because that part's not spinning the same direction necessarily.
Exactly.
Right.
They could trip so easily.
Well, and they had a lot of stage direction too, because like they would have to get off the wheel at a certain point
Mhm.
to like arrive next to the character, and I was like, dang, that's like really a lot. But I thought the set was like, well, the set was huge, but it was like,
so much bigger than any set I've seen.
yeah, but it was like simple, if that makes sense. Like it basically had some levels of people on the stairs, which when George
Washington.
Washington got to surf across the stage on the stairs, I was like, that would be sweet.
Yeah.
Like I would like to do that.
Me, please, can I? Yes.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like the set was very simple. Like they didn't even bring in like, if you think of like plays and musicals and stuff, like sometimes they'll build like different things.
They'll
and
push
switch
entire
it out.
sets.
Yeah, but it was basically
Yeah.
like they had his desk. Did they even have like tables? I don't.
They
think.
would bring tables in occasionally and benches.
Yeah, but that's about it.
And they always use the furniture as a lot as like back placement, like as they're moving it too.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, it goes completely pitch black, and I'm like, do they have night vision goggles? Because I cannot see shit.
No, I'm sure they have. Like it's all so choreographed that they're just, it's all memory at that point. I would imagine.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I would say the lighting in general, though, I thought it was really well done. Like stuff would be going on in the background, like scene changes,
Mhm.
and they would just drop a spotlight right on the actor that's supposed to be like spotlit.
Mm-hmm.
Spotlit. It sounded weird to say spotlit. Say it.
Spotlit. Nah, yeah.
I feel like
Kind of feel like you got to put an accent on it.
spotlit.
Yeah.
Say it, Tim. Say it.
Spotlight.
Spotlit yards. It feels like the Scotland yards.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What did you think of the line where Martha Washington apparently named her feral cat after Hamilton? That's a real fact.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I know. I don't know why. I was like, it just caught me. Like, it took me like I wasn't ready for it, and then it just started cracking up during it.
Yeah, and I guess it's stuff like that that makes me say, like, okay, I feel like I understand why there was a vote for this, because, like,
Yeah.
the music is different than a lot of musicals, right? Because, like, there's
Rapping
just...
in general.
There's rapping in, and then it feels more modern than, like, your typical, like, classic belt-out ballads that you see in, like, a musical or, like, opera.
The Phantom of the
Yeah.
Opera is here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, like, I can see why that would capture people's, like, attention and, like, why they would like it. But then also, like, there's a lot of... It seems like they had a lot of fun with it, like, both with that line and just, like, some of the dance numbers and, like, the characters. Like,
Well, one of the lines was actually during rehearsal, the guy who plays Jefferson, someone's like, where have you been? Like, talking about, like, what have you been up to? And he's like, being in, like, France.
yeah.
That was he improv that line in rehearsal, and they're like, I love it.
Yeah, there was just, like, little stuff like that you're like, nice.
Yeah, the crew seemed to do really, like, the cast did a great job together.
Right.
I just want to say that this is the most amount of sweat I've seen outside of, like, me and Tim.
Oh no, that's a lot of work.
They get
Yeah.
after it, man.
There.
Except for King George.
Hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
He's just spitting
Although he had
everywhere.
all that, like his spit and stuff, it always cracked me up. Every time.
Yeah, no, I was just like laughing because like the spotlights on you are hot as fuck.
Yeah.
Well-
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and for
Stage
this one, they
lighting.
had, like, big layered costumes. Like, it'd be
Oh, yeah.
different if you had, like, a modern musical.
Or you're just like in a tank top.
Exactly. Like, oh, here, you're on a beach. Like, you got your tank top and shorts on.
Right? I did think that the costuming was really well done.
It was good. Probably one of the things I won for, if I had to guess.
I didn't actually look at which ones they won.
You're just like, they won a lot.
They did.
In the sense of the I don't know where I'm trying to say, but the costuming. Why don't we dress like that now?
That
when
seems
is
really
that?
hot, man.
Like it's like all cyclical, right? Stuff is very cyclical, and we're kind of like going back to like the 80s right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
You want to
I'm
go
like,
further back?
when can we go back to the 1700s and 1800s? When are we
You want to
getting
go
that
to the
look back?
1780s, not the
I mean,
1980s.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Can we get rid of the frilly thing at the neck and open it up a little bit, and it would be a little bit warmer? Maybe change the shoes out.
I'm not
something more comfortable
saying,
than.
Tim.
But yeah, I would be down with the jackets and stuff.
I think nothing is stopping you from
turncoat,
wearing
whatever.
it.
That's true.
You could start the movement.
That's true. There were people trying to bring back capes at one point.
What?
You didn't know about that whole movement?
No.
There was a whole thing of like people trying to bring back like cloaks and capes, and I thought that was fantastic, and I may have purchased one.
Oh my
That's
word.
amazing.
But it was more of like a really light one for like just in the house and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But
A
I was
house
like, I'm
cape.
into
Tim
this.
wears it
Yeah.
all the time. Actually, he's actually shirtless
I
with
used
just the
to.
cape.
In the winter I wear it, even though it's like really light. But like I usually don't wear like a top in the house, like regardless of what season it is. So yeah, and like in the winter, if I'm just
Just painting a
chilling,
picture for
I will
everybody.
throw something like that. Yeah, it's green. It's got a hood. It wafts in the wind very well when I walk. That was the whole kind of idea behind it.
I
But yeah,
missed this
Ditch
I'll have to
movement.
show
your
you a picture of it.
robes. Get yourself a cape.
Get yourself a cape. It goes down to like almost the full length of my legs. Like it's pretty great.
That's amazing. Like, I mean, why do we even have robes? People should just wear capes.
Right.
Just,
Wear
switch
capes,
them
right?
out. Like,
I would say though, with the whole fashion thing, is while it's cyclical, it's still moving forward with time.
Oh yeah,
It's like
absolutely. There's still
spinning.
changes. And stuff. That's what I'm saying. You change a little bit of it, right?
well, I'm not shocked that you guys would like that because I felt like when we were at Oktoberfest, you know how they had those wool jackets? Like, those are
Dude, I wanted
very
that fucking wool
similar.
jacket.
Yeah, like I feel like the Germans still have a little bit of like the old world look to
Bavarian.
their fashion.
The
Yeah.
Bavarian part of Germany, at least.
Yeah, because like those wool jackets and vests were sweet.
Dude, right? I do like my lederhosen. I did show up to work once on like camera in my lederhosen.
That's great.
And we were in like this 300 person call. So like nobody really saw me, right?
But it was there.
It was there. I got called out by a couple guys that I used to work with, and I was like, yeah, I just wanted to see if people would notice.
There you go.
Did
And
they
people
notice?
did. Yeah, they did. They were like, so you got a flagon of ale with you?
Flogging a veil.
Did either of you have a favorite song?
The Kings.
Just the you'll be back.
He had he's I specifically wrote down, let's see. I think it was the first song, and he's talking about them like revolting and stuff, and he said, I will send an armed battalion to remind you of my love. And I thought that was great.
Classic.
So the first
Yeah.
song, Alexander Hamilton,
Mhm.
is the name of the song. He had to convince the biographer, what was his name, Ron Chernow, to okay the play. Like he didn't want to just do it. He wanted to get like full backing from this guy who knows all about Hamilton's life.
Gotcha.
Sure.
He's like, he hears the first song and he's like, all right, let's do this. This sounds amazing. And he actually worked with Lin-Manuel Miranda on some of the parts of the film, of the musical.
Mhm.
And he apparently went a bunch, as a paying customer to see it live on Broadway
Nice.
because he loved it so much.
Oh, that's nice.
Apparently, though, Hamilton was seen as kind of jokish a lot in history due to the fact that of his infidelity.
Oh.
So people never took him really serious, in our historians of now. So that was the one thing he really wanted to make sure, didn't come across as that way.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a lot harsher back then about those sorts of things than it is now.
Well, what was weird was he's like, guys, I slept with somebody and I got extorted for it, and the three dudes were like, oh, okay, yeah, nice chill, bro.
That checks out.
That checks out. They were like, you didn't embezzle shit. I got 6 women at home. It's fine.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of a dick move that he outs himself though. I understand why he does it, but it's also kind of
He did what was right for him mostly.
yeah, it was incredibly
Yeah.
selfish the entire time, to be completely honest. It's selfish to have the affair, and then it's selfish to be like, well, if I write about it, it'll protect me.
Yeah, because
Fuck my
Right.
wife, you know what I mean?
fuck my wife, fuck my family, fuck my friends.
Yeah, exactly.
He did fuck his career though,
Yeah.
because basically he couldn't ever run for president. Because at one point I was like, he was a president, right? Because you're working with Jefferson, you're working with Madison. He was secretary to George Washington.
Mhm.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, he was a president, right? Right. And then I lose the first, like the first 16. I don't always remember. I remember Lincoln, but let me say the first 15 outside of like, Washington. I guess I know Washington, Adams, Jefferson. I think John Quincy Adams is in there too. Madison.
You got it.
I think the ninth was Andrew Jackson. I used to know stuff, guys.
I
there.
never did.
Our ferrets out there
I
who are
never
listening
did.
still.
I like that you are just honest about it, Tim. I never did.
I remember
I don't
something.
claim to have.
I don't know. I remember some things.
I had to do a report on Franklin Pierce. I think
What
he's
number
the
was he?
14th. I think.
Want me to fact check you?
Sure.
All right.
He's in the teens.
He's a teenager.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's 14.
Franklin Pierce. See, I don't know shit about him.
I don't either. I did a whole report on him. Fucking no clue. It's out the window, man.
Franklin Pierce, the 14th United States president.
Look at that.
Look at that.
I don't know what he did. Nothing, probably. He existed and got a paycheck. But anyway, Adam, did you have a favorite song? Because you asked us, but
Yeah,
that's true.
My Shot.
My Shot.
It was the bar scene where he first recruits
he
Hercules,
first says,
like Hercules Lafayette,
Mm-hmm.
and Hercules does this like a brr noise.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I
he
was-
does.
And that's like, I don't know what artist got really big on it. I know like
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar does it sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
but it was like, hey, I was not expecting that.
Nice.
I probably butchered how to do it, but you got the point. I got the point across that I was trying to make.
Yeah, it was pretty close.
But yeah, that one was my favorite. I would say I liked a lot of the songs in the first half the most, although I did like the rap battles between
Yeah, those were fun.
Jefferson / Madison versus Hamilton. I thought that was a clever way to do it.
Yeah, that's what I liked about it too.
What did you think of Aaron Burr?
I mean, he kind of got the shaft a lot, so he was
Yeah.
like justified. If that makes sense. That's at least what I think.
So he came from a very wealthy family, yada yada yada.
Okay.
If you notice, so he's like, when you come into the play in the movie, you see Hamilton referring to him as like sir, and like seeing like he's speaking to like a person older than him.
Mm-hmm.
They're the same age.
Yeah, I kind of figured they were the same age because they kind of have a parallel path.
Yeah,
But I guess obviously he was more in society if he's calling him sir, you know?
that it was to show the class difference.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I did get that. I didn't know I got that, but then I read it. I was like, I got that. I don't know if that
Checks
makes any
out.
sense.
Sure. Yeah.
I wanted to bring up the stamina. I know we talked about
Just
how
gotta go
much
back to that.
work this is. The fact that they do this, like, how long is the intermission? Like 15 minutes?
I think
it's longer than that. I think it's like half an hour.
Still.
Yeah, I think it's pretty. I think Tim's right. I think it's like a half hour.
That's insane.
But the Disney version makes you think it's like a minute. Like it's definitely not that
I did
short.
laugh at that. The
Yeah.
fact that they threw up intermission and then give a 60-second clock.
They're like, you better pee fast, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
It like gives you a reason to go to the bathroom real quick. Like, oh shit, gotta go. Let me go get my popcorn.
Go get a
I
shot of tequila. Just kidding. Go ahead,
I
Tim.
just remember that when I go to them or whatever, it tends to go quickly.
Yeah.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I'm thinking about it, I'm like, it's definitely not short, but like you go out there, you get a drink, go to the bathroom, get a snack or whatever, and it's just like, all right, time to go back in. Hurry up, or you're gonna miss your seat. You can't go in. Like, oh
Mhm.
shit. All right. I
Oh,
guess.
shit, yeah, apparently it's 15 minutes on average.
Oh, okay.
Max is at
Okay,
20
interesting.
minutes.
Wow.
That's Broadway only. And I don't think any of us have been to Broadway.
No, I
No.
haven't been to Broadway.
I've not been to New York. Which I did like that they brought up the historical fact that New York was our capital at first.
Mm-hmm.
And it was eventually moved to DC because they talked in a room.
Yeah.
And Aaron Burr wanted to be in that room.
Yeah. Well, I started to get like really meta in my head for a second because I was like, wow, New York's kind of full of itself, right? Because it's like sitting here, it's their Broadway is in New York doing this
Mhm.
big whole musical that's popular, talking about how great New York is and how it's like the best place in the world, the greatest city in the world. And I was like, you guys are a little hoity-toity, don't you think?
I would assume though that's what
Just
they
a
thought at
tidbit.
the time, like all the people
Yeah,
in
I'm sure.
politics and whatnot.
Yeah. I was just like, this is, I don't know, it's kind of funny.
Although I would say Jefferson and Madison loved Virginia
Yes.
with their
Oh,
plantations and whatnot.
absolutely. Yeah.
But I will say what my favorite scene, I said that My Shot was my favorite song. I would say the hurricane scene.
That was cool.
It was like
Yeah.
I
that
was
cool.
mentioning earlier, them using the furniture as the like background. They did a really good job making it look like he was in the middle of the eye of a storm.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like that. I can't imagine like coming up with this. Not on a historical story.
Right. I think that's the thing that's funny about it. It's like the very thing that like turned me away from it is like, damn, like that makes it even harder to like pull this off in such a good way because I don't know, the subject matter is not necessarily riveting to most people.
Right. That's for sure. Because like you tell me, oh, I'm gonna tell the story of Alexander Hamilton. I'm like,
Cool. Who was
I-
that?
for why?
What's this guy you're saying?
Who? He's
Am I
on the
supposed
$10
to
bill.
know who
Are
that
you
is?
sure? He actually was. They were talking about removing him from the $10 bill,
Oh no.
and then this came out, and they're like, I guess we can't.
Who are they gonna replace him with? We
They don't know yet.
They were just like, we hate this guy, take him off.
Yeah. No, I think they'd switch out the $20 bill next. That's just my guess. We'll see though. We still have the $1 bill, and they always talk about getting rid of that. So, no, they talk about getting rid of the penny.
Yeah.
That's come
Well,
up so much, and I'm always like, how do you get rid of a? Anyways, I don't know.
I was
Yeah.
I was gonna say it'd be so odd because like the increments that we have make sense now. So to
Yeah.
like completely redo it would be just like baffling. But at the same time, like if you're gonna redo it, now's the time because like nobody carries cash.
Right.
So it's like if you redid it, how many people would it really affect? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's still plenty of people that use cash. I know we do every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, there's also a thing of like people are legally required, like it's a law that if somebody wants to buy something and they offer cash, I don't know how up to date this actually is now that I'm thinking about it, but if somebody wants to buy something with cash, usually you have to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how that works anymore with, the digital age and whatnot.
Yeah.
Huh. I definitely think I've seen places that are like card only.
No, for sure. Like that's a thing.
But you,
Which is what makes me think about it because I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. Like,
yeah.
maybe that's gone away, but I know there's a thing. There used to be a legal thing with cash. It's like if somebody offers cash, you have to accept
I
it.
believe it.
Well, yeah, because like, what would be the point of having it if you didn't?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like to some degree, like common sense plays out there, but and I also just the logistics of switching it out. We're gonna get rid of the penny. How do you get all the pennies back, bro? Like,
They just no longer.
I understand that, but like they're
Yeah.
still floating
What do
around.
you
And
do?
people
I know.
still accept them. Like this is
It's
just
confusing.
a hot mess.
They got rid of the $2 bill.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
They just stopped producing it, and then the U.S. Mint collects it.
That's true.
That being said, I thought it was hilarious that Jefferson was like, I tried to undo his bank, his federal
Yeah.
bank. I couldn't do it. That thing is tight.
Yeah. That was funny.
I don't know. And I did like that, like Washington. I was interested in knowing why Washington wouldn't let him lead a troop, and I felt like he was protecting him because he was like, I need more people to be able to lead the country after we form the country.
Yeah, that's what
Right.
it seemed like.
It's definitely how it felt,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, good guy, George Washington.
Mhm.
He didn't have his wooden teeth though, so I was a little disappointed. I didn't hear any whistling.
Yeah, what the heck?
I was curious how
Oh,
much the
great.
Sunny episode would come up, and we actually haven't brought it up.
Not much, no.
You had to get your one in there.
I had to get my one in.
Yeah.
That's more or less what I have. But I was curious if you had any of words. Do either of you have notes?
No, not really.
I had one last thing. Like I thought I didn't know much about Alexander Hamilton, obviously, But I knew even less about Eliza, and I thought it was cool that she did like the first orphanage and
right?
raised the funds for the Washington Monument. Like I didn't know.
She did so much after he passed.
Yeah, that's wild.
Why isn't she in our textbooks?
Why isn't she on the $10 bill? Is that what? Replace Hamilton with his wife.
Eliza. Actually, I lied. I had 2 more notes. Many of the lyrics from One Last Time, like George Washington's last song, when he was retiring from being president, were actually from his farewell address. Like,
that's cool.
that he literally took phrases out.
Nice.
And apparently this was Disney Plus's first OG, like original PG-13 like film show
That's
that
funny.
they had on the platform. Like that they created. Cuz like everything else was like Lady and the Tramp or what's your dog movie? Togo?
Togo. Oh my god, that movie's so good. It's like the true story Balto.
Yeah.
Because Balto wasn't real. Oh god. We should watch that movie. It's so good.
Anyways, so I'll get to the cast.
Go for it.
Alexander Hamilton was played by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I'm shocked.
I know. So he wrote, directed, and played the main character.
I know.
The guy's insane. Like I knew him from Historic
That's
Materials
pretty cool.
first, which he plays a
Yeah.
Texan. But he wrote all the music for Moana. He wrote all the music for Encanto. And he directs plenty of other things like In the Heights. But Eliza is played by Philippa. Is that how
Colombe.
Philippa Sue? She was in Tick Tick Boom, another Lin-Manuel Miranda film.
There you go.
It's on Netflix, starring Andrew Garfield as the main character. Aaron Burr is played by Leslie Odom Jr. He's in The Murder on the Orient Express.
Nice.
Whoa.
I think
What's
he's
that
the
movie?
doctor. Lafayette / Thomas Jefferson is played by David Diggs. He's in the new Snowpiercer show.
Oh.
He's also in Tour de
Interesting.
Pharmacy, which is hilarious. If you ever get like 40 minutes to him, it's like this.
Mhm.
It's like it's not making fun of Lance Armstrong because he's in it, but it's like making fun of like the Tour de France.
Classic Andy Samberg.
It's a satire. Yeah, I think
That's all you
Orlando
gotta
Bloom's in it
say.
too. It's really it's I don't know why it's just so funny.
Yeah.
But Angelica, she is played by Renee Elise Goldsberry. In Sam, she is in fact actually in Altered Carbon.
I knew it. I can recognize people.
Could you recognize King George though? Played by Jonathan Groff,
Mm-mm.
who plays Kristoff in Frozen.
What? I would have never recognized him because he's an animated character, but that's cool.
Yeah, I know.
Look at him.
Hercules Mulligan / Madison is played by Okiriat. I'm sorry, I butchered his name. Onaldawan. And he's in Station 19. He's actually in a few things that are like up and coming. It seems like George Washington is played by Chris Jackson. He is in the Heights, which is another one of Miranda's films. Manuel Miranda. I can't fucking say his name. It's the 3-name thing. It messes me up. Yeah, but Peggy / Maria Reynolds is played by Jasmine Cephas Jones, and she's in Blind Spotting.
Oh.
That's like a newer show or movie.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Sure.
John Lawrence / Philip Hamilton is played by Anthony Ramos. Ramios is probably pronounced. He's the main character in The Heights. And then my last person is somebody in the ensemble that I noticed because she was in Schmigadoon is Ariana DeBose, not DeBois. There's no I. She's the main. I think she plays Anita in West Side Story, who I believe is one of the mains, but I do not remember because I've never seen West
Sure.
Side Story,
Same.
even though it's been made a dozen times.
I had never seen it.
So this is where it gets weird. So this 3 or 4 day, I can't remember how many days. So it's multiple takes. Like it was filmed over like 4 days.
I was wondering that because I was like, what are the odds that you get all the way through without a mess up and it works
So,
for the film?
Yeah. So there was like 3 or 4 days of takes.
Gotcha.
It won 2 Emmys, so I guess it's considered a TV show.
Oh. I guess
As
that
well as
makes
getting
sense.
17 wins and 46 other nominations.
Damn.
Now, as for the actual play itself, it won 11 Tonys.
That's
and it was nominated for 5 others. I think Book of Mormon also won 11 Tonys.
Yeah, they won
Or
a
9.
lot.
They won a lot. They just, that's still the funniest. And if you've watched the South Park episode, did you catch all the subtext in it? If you didn't, it's too bad. So the critics gave this a 98%, audience with an 89%, IMDb with an 8.3 out of 10, and Google with an 88%. So, Lady of the Missing of the Boat, are you flipping this on?
I am not. I think you could. I feel like you can respect what it did, and that it like is like a modern musical that everybody likes, but not
Everybody, apparently.
not have to sit through it again, or not wish to sit through it again. It wasn't horrible. Like, it's not the worst thing I've seen in my life, and I really do. I enjoy musicals. But I think there's something to seeing them live, like Tim said. So, like,
Yeah.
I might have felt differently had I seen it on Broadway, but I don't think so. It's just, I don't know. It's a terrible blanket statement to be like, oh, I hate all of historical fiction. But, like, most of the time it misses the mark with me. I just find it boring.
And I don't know if this is that fictional, technically speaking.
Yeah. But, like, if that's your jam and you haven't seen it, for sure. And it could be worth watching if you just, like, want to see, like, a modern musical. Because, like Tim said, like, most people know Phantom of the Opera. Like, there's
Little Mermaid.
there's this Rolodex of musicals that people know. And so to, like, have another one in your little thing is probably nice. But for me, it's a pass. Tim?
Yeah. I think the experience of something like this is, and I get not everybody has the avenue to do that or places to go to do that. So it's tough, but this one for me somehow misses what other ones that have been adapted to film could do. And maybe it is just that it's kind of like a historical thing, but I'm flipping this one off too. I was pretty, I don't want to say bored, but just not connected to the film. Whereas like Phantom of the Opera, I remember seeing it maybe just because I was younger or whatever. Seeing it in person and then seeing it in film form. The movie they do with that, they made out of it is just really, I think it was meant, the one I'm thinking of was actually meant for film.
Yeah, it's more of a rendition like Les Mis.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so it like just, you get kind of the full experience of like the musical, whereas this one, it's like, I don't know if it's just because it was live and filmed that it's kind of quieter almost, it seems, or you don't get the full range of the singing or the music or something. But I'm getting weird technical with it. But yeah, I just think in general, unless you're super into this stuff, or you've never been to a musical, or you don't really have the avenues to get to a musical, you're not going to really enjoy this one.
So I would flip it on. I liked it. I enjoyed most of the music.
I knew you would.
I was like, I thought it was really cool with like, I do want to see it live now.
Yeah, I think it would be fun to watch it live.
The fact that he was able to find a way to add rapping, and I just thought that was crazy.
That was cool. I did not expect that, but
so I had heard that, so I was kind of expecting it, right? But I was like, I like it. Like, I liked that. And it just gives me more random factoids that I can launch and remember for absolutely no reason that do not help me with anything.
Small talk. That's what they help you with.
Yeah. But no, I enjoyed it. I was wondering, Tim, if they added capes to make it more mysterious. That's why Tim likes Phantom of the Opera.
Just throw it out there, Phantom of the Opera.
I know. I was like coming back to Phantom of the Opera. He does eat the theater people, yeah. When he lives in the sewer and whatnot.
Yeah.
Gosh,
so yeah,
now I want to go watch that
with Gerard Butler.
Yeah, that one's so good.
So I guess my last question for both of you is: would you be interested in if they did a film rendition? So if they went and did like a Phantom of the Opera, or they did like a Les Mis version. I'm saying let's go with like Les Mis, where they're still singing the entire film.
Yeah.
So I find that weird. I'm going to be honest. If I'm watching a play and they're singing the whole time, my brain is like, I can get there. This makes sense. We turned
Right.
on Les Mis one time, and they're singing the whole time. That threw me off.
How dare they?
Well, like Grease is different.
Yeah, they talk.
Yeah,
They
it's-
talk,
right.
but Les Mis, they don't talk at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't do that. I knew this one too from the beginning. It was pretty much going to be the same one.
So I guess suppose they do it like Grease or like they do it like Phantom of the Opera. Would you watch that?
Are you talking about this one in particular?
Yeah, Hamilton.
I mean,
Maybe.
not willingly.
Okay.
It'd have to. I mean, just like anything. I don't know that I would sit down and just watch Phantom of the Opera, like on something like that. I don't think. Like I couldn't stand Nutcracker on film. I could. I don't think I'd sit down unless if somebody else wanted to watch it or
Okay.
whatever. There was a reason to do it. Like I'm not gonna be like, do you want to watch this? No, but if somebody's interested in watching it,
No.
I'll watch it. But I'm not gonna.
Choose to.
No, I don't think that would change me.
Yeah, I was wrestling with that as I was sitting here and being like, oh, would I like it better as a true
Film experience.
film experience? And I'm going to tell you what would happen. I would be like, yeah, I'm going to try it again. And then I would come out of it and I'd be like, why did I put myself through that again?
Yeah, exactly.
I have a feeling that is what it would happen. And it's not, I mean, it's not, like I said, like you can respect what it did for musicals and be like, he should be proud of this work 100%. And it's just not up my alley.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Nice.
I'd probably watch a film version of it and then be like, oh God.
I didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
I would watch it as well.
Same thing like I did with Les Mis. Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think I was trying to say if it was more like the Phantom of the Opera
Yeah.
version where it does the talking.
There is some
still,
talking in there. Yeah,
which I think this translates to that more with the rap.
definitely.
But anyways, we're going to go ahead and spin for next week.
Leslie.
Let's see
Whoa.
what it is. Can I talk and spin?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it
I
just
think
going to
you
be
can.
information overload? And Tim this week got
It's
dealer's
me,
choice.
Mario.
He
Oh,
got
boy.
dealer's choice, so he gets to pick anything from anywhere
All the power.
of the pick.
Time to resort to the top 100 list.
So he's watching Clockwork Orange. Nice.